All right, it's urban therapy with some show. What you know now? It's about to go down. Urban therapy with Sun Show, y'all. What you know about that? Yeah, about to go down. Word up, it's happening now. How y'all feeling, y'all? Sunday morning. Give myself a stretcher. I'm on and yawning the 12th of the month. And that's the time when you really just can't front. Yo, it's going down. Urban Therapy with Sun Show, y'all. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the rrr. And today, we're gonna talk about when you ruin a major purchase and when you ruin a life. When you ruin a major purchase and when you ruin a life. What y'all know about that? Have you ever ruined a major purchase? I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. Something that you had to save up for a good little while now. And it's all messed up. Like, you know, when you mess up something or you ruin something or wreck something that you're not even finished paying for yet, oh, you know, that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing, but it happens to the best of us, you know. And sometimes we aren't covered well. Sometimes we aren't covered well with what we done messed up, but we gotta go through it, and we about to get to it right now. Urban Therapy with Sun Show, what's going on? Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita is all up in the house. How you feeling, man? Good to see me, some you. Thanks for coming through. We about to go down, do this thing too. Yeah, and it's going to be all right. You know it's going to be all right. Thank you, won't and everything is going to be all right, and everything is going to be all right. Live your life, word, and everything is going to be all right, and everything is going to be all right. We do a thing now. And it's going down. Worry not, y'all. Everything is going to be cool. Yes. Urban Therapy with Sun Show, y'all. When you ruin a major purchase, when you ruin a life, you know, when you ruin a major purchase, there is no denying that you have ruined it, wrecked it, destroyed it, messed it up now. But when it comes to ruining a life, well, that's very subjective. You understand what I'm talking about? Because you can argue that one way or another, because life goes on. And I think that when we ruin a major purchase, we understand that life goes on. But sometimes when we face with having our lives ruined or somebody telling us that we ruined their lives, well, we got to have a conversation about that because we may not see it the same way. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going down. Urban Therapy with Sun752. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. We do this every single Sunday morning from 11 o'clock till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is Sunday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is Sunday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We going to do it like this. Y'all ready for this? Let's get it popping, man. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. Yeah. I am your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the rrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all day long. You know, we play around on the monkey bars, the swings, and push each other up the sliding boards, you know, playing in the sandbox and all of that. We try to take an introspective look into our own behavior to see how we project ourselves into the world as we find out about ourselves. We'll have some fun now. Just me and all the gang, learning from each other while we do our thing. La, 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 gonna have a good time. All right, so let's get it popping, y'all. Urban Therapy with Sun Show. And we're talking about when you ruin a major purchase and when you ruin a life. Have you ever ruined a major purchase? Have you ever crashed up your new ride and let your insurance lapse? You still paying for this car, baby. You are still paying for this car. You know, like you like, oh my God, oh my God, or even something worse. And this may be a Philly thing, but I don't know if this happens in other places too. But I know people who this situation has happened to. Have you ever? Well, no, I ain't gonna say have you ever, because people might not feel like admitting all of that right now, and I get it. But maybe you know of a situation where somebody car got impounded. This is a car that you are paying. You are paying a note on, and you may barely be able to afford the note and the insurance. And maybe you have all of these tickets going, parking tickets, traffic tickets, moving violations, and all of that going all the way back to the 80s. Sometimes it happens like that, going all the way back to the 80s and 90s or whatever. You done had your car booted and whatever. You done got on payment plans and all of that kind of stuff. And now you done got stopped, or they done, let's in Philly, they have this thing called the live stop program. And that's when, if you are caught driving without a driver's license or insurance or registration, they can impound your car. And the impound fees are pretty hefty. They're pretty hefty. They didn't start out that way, but now they are. So a day in storage may be like $30. As a matter of fact, let me look it up. How much is a day in storage for the impound yard in the city of Philadelphia?
According to the Philadelphia Parking Authority, storage fee, $75 for each 24 hours plus 25% tax.
$40 for each 24 hours. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me make sure I get this right. Let me make sure I get it right. Yes, we will. Vehicle towing and impoundment. So now see, they have some incorrect information on here. It says vehicles with 3 or more unpaid parking or red light tickets are eligible to be booted after their owners receive a series of notices. It's really after one, because it used to be anything under $100, they wouldn't boot you. Now, one ticket that you get, especially the red light ticket, that's already like $150. So, let me go back. When your vehicle is impounded in the city of Philadelphia, how much is the storage fee?
According to the Philadelphia Parking Authority, storage fee, $40 for each 24 hours plus 25% tax.
Okay, so that was right. So $40. Now you can imagine how fast that will those fees will accrue, to the point where you probably don't have that much money. You don't have enough money to be able to get your car out of impound. And if you already have tickets going all the way back, to the 90s, early 2000s or whatever, you may have been, creeping through the cracks, slipping through the cracks all of that time. Now it's time to pay the piper. What are you going to do? You've essentially ruined a major purchase. You ride around here in this nice car. I don't know, sunroof, drop top, whatever, all of the options available, sitting on something nice, leather seats, all of the good shit, rimmed up, tinted up. Car is nice, but you was barely being able to make the note. You was barely able to pay the car note and the insurance. So you let your insurance lapse. And now you got all those tickets on your back, and you done got stopped. They done ran your tags, impounded your cars. I mean your car, and now your car is in impound, and you don't have enough money right then and there to get your car out, because you got to pay all of those tickets before you can get your car out, or make a payment arrangement in order to be able to get your car out. And those payment arrangements ain't sweet like that. So now you have a situation where your car is locked up and you don't have the bail money. The city can get the title to your car from the bank, because now they own the car, and they don't even have to pay your car off. You owe the bank. You're still going to owe the bank the money for a car that you're not driving because you lost it in an impound over tickets. You have ruined a major purchase. The car might have been worth, you may have paid 30, 40, 50, $60,000 for it. Maybe you lost your job or something like that and you weren't able to pay. Whatever the reason is, you weren't able to pay for the car. You've ruined a major purchase. Out of here. Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it. Emily Dunlap. How you doing, ma? And Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. What's going on? Thanks for coming on through. Good to see you every time you come through. I feel good too. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. And make sure that you share the show. I appreciate it. It's the Urban Therapy with Son show. Sunday morning, give you a stretch your morning yawn. It's okay. We to the break of dawn, when we start getting it, start popping, everything is going to be y'all right and no stopping. All right, y'all. So yeah, that's what we're talking about this morning. When you ruin a major purchase, a car is an easy thing to ruin. You could be the most careful driver. You may be a very, very defensive driver, making sure that you don't mess up anything. And you mess around. Let's say you just got the car. You just got this car brand new. Ain't had it but a month. Soon as you drive off the lot, you know how much value that car loses. You done drove off the lot. I think the depreciation of a vehicle, after you drive it off, after you purchase it, is what, like 60%? Let's look that up. Let's look it up. How much is the depreciation of a vehicle after your purchase?
According to Carfax,
Okay.
According to current depreciation rates, the value of a new vehicle can drop by more than 20% after the first 12 months of ownership.
Okay. It says, according to the depreciation rates, the value of a new vehicle can drop by more than 20% after the first 12 months of ownership. Then, for the next 4 years, you can expect your car to lose roughly 10% of its value annually. So that's kind of why it makes sense to buy a pre-owned vehicle instead of a new vehicle. You lose 20% driving off the lot, essentially. Then, like they said, after the next 4 years, you're losing another 10%, another 10%, another 10%. So you get a car that's 10 years old. That's why you only paying pennies for it. You basically just paying pennies for it because it has lost all its value. And it still may be a decent car, if somebody took care of it, if they had a lot of highway miles on it. But the point I was trying to make is this: let's say you bought a new car, you have insurance and all of that kind of stuff, but it was an expensive car, and after a few months, you crash your car up and it's totaled out. Total. You may still owe more than what the car is worth because you owe what you got the loan for. So what they call it, end over in equity or whatever. You haven't paid enough money into the vehicle. So 6 months, you only had a car 6 months, and now your vehicle is total, and maybe you got into a car crash with somebody that you can't sue. Maybe it was a bad accident because of bad weather. You crashed the shit up, ran into a telephone pole or a tree or something, whatever, guardrail. You know what I mean? You lucky to be alive. You good as far as that's concerned, but your car is gone, and you owe all of this money. So you can't even go to your insurance company and get a check to buy a new vehicle. You basically have to start all over. That's a bad look. And it's very, very unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. So you have ruined a major purchase. Some people go into a depression over that kind of shit. Thank goodness that I've had enough financial hardships or experiences financially with loss that I don't look at any purchase as something that's going to define me as a man. Lucky for me, because I know other men who don't feel that way. I know plenty of men who live their lives through their bank account or through their wallet or through whatever's in their pocket. So, when you used to being the money man out here, you running around acting like Big Willie. You run around here, acting like you large and in charge. Well, people will get used to that real soon. They will get used to you being the one that pays for everything. They will be used to you always riding around, sitting on something nice. You know what I mean? Having that money, throwing money around. You know how it is. We all know a big shot. We all know a big shot, friend of ours, uncle, brother, sister, whatever. Somebody that likes to throw their money around and is defined by how much money they make. It happens all the time. Kim's Whims is all up in the house. What up, Kimmy? Kimberly, all up in the house. I said, Kimberly, how you feeling? Mount Indianapolis, all up in the house. How you feeling? Good to see some you. Absolutely. But yeah, when you do that shit, look, some people define themselves by their vehicle. To keep it a buck with you, they some people lease vehicles or whatever. So you don't be knowing everybody don't know that they be leasing vehicles, so they get a new car every 3 years, 36 months, and sometimes they get it before then. You got you get a new car every year. Yeah, I just keep trading in. You don't know that they leasing. It's not a bad look. It's not a bad look. You're going to really look like the man to people who don't know. My pop used to do it back in the 70s. It used to seem like he was getting a new Cadillac, a new Eldorado every 6 months. It wasn't every year. It was like every 6 months. It was crazy. Between the years of 75 and 80, he had a new Cadillac every year. It was crazy. Because he was leasing them. And he was leasing them through his business. So he wasn't no out-of-pocket expenses for him. It was a company vehicle. So the company was picking up the tab. And he was riding around, fully equipped. Thing was nice. That was back in the day when your car alarm, John, used to be on the fender of your vehicle. Y'all remember this? The car alarm was a keyhole. It was a keyhole, like there was a tumbler on your on the hood or the fender of the car. So before you got in the car, you had to turn there was a little key that you put in the fender to turn the alarm off. Other than that, nobody could drive your vehicle. I remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? That was in the 70s. It was low. That was state of the art back then, but now that would be considered low sophistication. But anyway, so when you crash up a car that you ain't finished paying for yet, some people go into a depression over that shit. They used to riding around in something nice. and their whole personality is defined by their material items, particularly their car, jewelry, things like that. They're used to people seeing them in that light, and they can't really deal too well with somebody not looking at them that way. So it can be very tough for them. Now, to you and me, that may not be no big thing. We might recognize that everybody takes a loss at at some point in their lives, but as long as you're able to get back up on the horse and ride off into the sunset, everything is all right. Some people have not been able to take those losses. They haven't suffered those losses, or it could be a situation where they grew up with humble beginnings. They didn't have a lot of money around the house. They didn't grow up with a lot of money in the house. So by the time they got their shit together, they pledged to always be all right. They wasn't going back to, scratching and scraping for pennies and living. What did Ray Charles' mom say? When he was little, you don't want to be living hand to mouth or whatever. Yeah, they don't want to go back to that. They don't want to go back to that project living. I can't blame them. They don't want to go back to not having a car. The fuck is that? Just heard a weird sound. And look, she heard it too. See the cat like, fuck. What we doing? What we doing? So yeah. So when you're faced with a situation like that, when you're faced with a situation like, you're used to being the big Willie, and now you ain't the big Willie no more. That's a major change in your life, and it may not be something that you're able to deal with. You ain't trying to go back. You ain't trying to go back to that feeble existence. You're not trying to go back to the struggle. And you may do anything in order to keep from having to go back there. And the threat of having to go back to that is like a big major failure on your part. That may be the way that you're looking at it. Like that was a major failure on your part. And it can send some people into a depression. Shit is crazy out here. Carol Chamberlain says, don't be talking about me and my lease. Oh, listen, it's different from you. I mean, different for you. First of all, like I said, leasing a car can be a good thing. Because if you're the type of person like you who wants to be sitting in something new, fresh, and hot every 3 years or whatever, it's a good look. You know what I mean? I don't like paying no car note. So that wouldn't be a good situation for me. But if you're the type of person that doesn't mind paying a note, leasing is actually a smarter way to go. As long as you have the good lease where you don't have to watch the miles. That's the one thing I don't like about leasing a car. Like a lot of times when people are leasing a vehicle, like let's say you have to drive down south or something like that, or cross country or whatever. Now you gotta go rent a car. You gotta rent a car in order to take a long drive because you don't want to put those miles on your vehicle. That's the thing that would kind of like I'm not with that. Like I got a brand new car, but I have to rent a car in order to go somewhere far because I got to watch every mile that I'm driving. Now that's what's up. My man Samaj Network all up in the house. Alabama in the house. Samaj Network. Alabama in the house. Samaj Network. What's going on? Samaj Network is all up in the house. Thanks for coming through, my brother. You know what I mean? Good to see me some you. Kim's Wim says, when the cats hear it, I'm hearing it too. I'm looking up and getting ready. I'm ready. T. Carey Wright says, hey, fam. What's going on, T. Carey Wright? All up in the house. How you feeling? How you doing? Yo, we talk about when you ruin a major purchase or life. We're going to get into that whole, you ruined my life thing. We're going to get to that in a minute. Right now, we talking about material items, baby. We talk about that the material items. The material items. You know, what that's about. What that's about. You know, listen, ain't there is nothing wrong with having plenty of money. And I will never fault anybody for chasing the dollar if that's what they feel in their heart that they need to do. And as long as they're doing it without stepping on major toes and ruining other people's lives and impeding on other people's privacy and their way of life and their ability to have peace and all of that, I don't have no problem with it. Go ahead, get that Skrilla, get that change it, get that money, stack that paper, get all the cheese. But when that life becomes you, and when something happens to take that away, and you feel like you're nothing or have absolutely nothing left because you lost something that you value on the material side, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, son. That don't seem like a good look to me. That doesn't seem like the way to be to me. That doesn't seem like a good position to me. Is it just me? Is it just me? Word. So yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Hold on, what's this? We got it.
I don't want to say all was bitched out, but you know, he was hurt like me.
Oh no. I thought that was somebody else. I saw a rap event, a battle rap event yesterday. And it looked like this boy named Jada Nightwing. Anyway, by the way, that battle rap event yesterday kind of sucked. That ain't nothing new, but sheesh. But anyway, but yeah, when you start to define yourself by your money or by your stuff, you have to realize that it's stuff, dog. It's stuff. If you got it once, you should be able to get it again. Unless the way that you got it is a way that you could never get it again. Like if you win the lottery and you buy a bunch of shit, well, it's going to be a little tougher to get that stuff back again if you lose it through the way that you got it in the first place. It ain't easy to hit the lotto twice. It ain't easy to powerball your way through life. That's a once in a lifetime type of thing. At least I think it is. I've heard from lottery winners that there is a method to it and you can win multiple lotteries. That's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they talking about. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that we're talking about when you ruin a major purchase. Your house. Now, a lot of people feel like, well, you should never define yourself by your car, but a house is an equitable purchase, and you can borrow against it, and it's real estate, so it's something that if you're going to be proud of anything, be proud of your home and take care of your home, because your home can give back to you, whereas your car will never get back to you. Okay, I get that. Some people live in homes that they really can't afford, though. You have a mortgage that you really can't afford because you got the little hookup and you lied about the money that you were making on your loan application, and you got the loan, and now here you are paying for a home that you can't afford. You may have been previously paying for an apartment that you couldn't afford, but you knew when it came to that, your landlord would put you out if you didn't pay that rent. Now you're forced to pay a mortgage. Well, I ain't gonna say forced. You made that decision. You bought the house. It might have been a nice house. Like, yo, this is nice. This is real, real nice. High ceilings, marble floors, marble countertops, and all of that. Recessed lighting. You know what I mean? Hi-hats in the ceiling. Good shit. Good shit. All of the furniture, you know how you got everything Wi-Fi'd out. You know, solar panels on the roof and all of that. you energy conscious and all of that. Trying to conserve energy. Good shit. Nice. Real nice. Very, very nice. You got it going on in this house. This may have been your dream home. And your dream home turns into a nightmare because you are house poor. House poor. And house poor is when you are living in a home that you can't afford the upkeep on. So you may be able to pay the mortgage, but that's about all that you can pay for. You get a leaky roof. You don't have enough money to fix that leaky roof. You want to add on a new room. You can't do that shit. You want to get your deck fixed. You can't do that shit. You have just enough to be able to pay that mortgage and all the other bills and the taxes that come along with the home. But shoot, you have to entertain in the home because you can't afford to go out. You maybe used to go to shows, go out on the town, have a good time, eat, go to nice restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Recreational activities. You can't do that shit now. You don't have enough money left. And I ain't gonna front, y'all. It amazes me the little bit amount of money that some people make and how they seem to be the ones always spending money. Is it just me? It seems like the people who don't make no money always spending money. I'll be like, man, yo, anybody ever tell you exactly how much money they make take home? And it had you like, what? Some of y'all have so many deductions coming out of y'all check. I'm like, yo, you're not working for nothing. You got to cut some of that shit off. All of this money comes out of your check before you see the money. And this is what you see when it's all said and done. And you got bills to pay out of that. Hey. But they be the ones buying shit all the time. They be the ones buying shit. I'm like, you always at the store. How? With what? With what shall you buy it, dear Henry? Dear Henry, with what shall you buy it, dear Henry? With what? They're not making enough money. But some people look at it that way. They look at it like, well, even though I'm not bringing home a lot, but look at all the stuff I got. Okay, I get it. I'm all about a discount too, being able to buy shit, getting the hookup and all that kind of shit. But I'm more about having the money in my pocket. And I ain't nowhere near rich, paid, or none of that shit. But I be goddamn if, look, man. Like I said, it seems like the people who don't make hardly no money are always the ones spending a bunch of money. And then you hear what some people think is good money. And you be like, that's good money? I mean, I know how that be too. I was talking to a brother yesterday, and he was saying how, he was making $15 an hour. He said, I was doing good. And I was thinking like, $15 an hour ain't good. It ain't. It would have been good 10, 20 years ago. $15 an hour was all right. But when you start doing the simple math, $15 an hour on an 8-hour day, what we got? It ain't, before taxes, this shit ain't sweet at all. So hold on. Let's see what we got. What a calculator. Here we go. All right. 15 times 8. $120. $120 a day times 5. $600 a week. $600 a week. Now, $600 a week ain't bad, but that ain't what you taking home. That ain't what you taking home. You know what you taking home is with the taxes already all taken out and all of that. So you be lucky to come home with about $450. You have benefits. I mean, dependents, whatever. You might step off. With 500. So over 2 weeks, you might step off with a stack, a G, one band. One band. A band is $1,000. A G is $1,000. A rack, like these hip hoppers got to get their slang together. A rack is $10,000. They be like, yo, I made 10 racks. I'm like, so you had 100,000? No, I had 10,000. Like, yo, you ain't had no 10 racks. You had a rack. You had a rack. One rack. But yeah, so I'm only saying all of this because, it's different strokes for different folks, and one man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to starve at $15 an hour, but think about it. There's a big push from the Democrats to get everybody to be able to make at least $15 an hour. That's you need at least that much nowadays to be able to make it, even though I know people who are somehow making it on less than that, $13 out, $14. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You'll make do with whatever you have. But when you suffer a major loss and you're making that kind of money, a major loss is going to be harder to recover from because you don't make a lot. And if you're house poor, you done finagled a way to be able to get this crib. It's nice. It's a nice crib, without a doubt. But yo, homie, you ain't got enough for the upkeep of this house. You might be able to make the mortgage and not be able to make the taxes. It happens, man. It happens. You're barely able to make the mortgage, but you did it because you're looking at it here. Basically, you taking home $2,000 a month. You got this elaborate crib. Let's say your mortgage on $200,000 home. Let's say you paying $1,200 a month on the mortgage. $200,000 crib. You only bringing home $2,000, homie. And barely that. So you have other bills to pay. You house poor as hell. Now, let's say something happens to your house. You know how we had that bad storm the other day? It was really, really bad. Very, very intense. A tree fuck around and blow out your windows. I mean, the wind blows out your windows or whatever, ruins your roof, or a tree falls on your crib. Yo, you may not have had that insurance, son. Or you may have had you may have just had the insurance that would pay out in certain situations. You didn't have full coverage, the type that would allow you to really be able to restore your home back to its pre-existing condition. You fucked. You are fucked. Totally. You don't have enough money to put your house back together. And your house may be inhabitable. Yo, man, uninhabitable. All right. Samaj Network says, helping people ruin my life. Co-signing for family and they don't pay the creditors. The creditors are waiting for me to pay because my stupid ass family members let payments get behind. They put it on my credit. Yeah, that co-signing shit. Woo! 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 Carol Chamberlain says, credit is your way to everything. Good credit, no problem, but bad credit is a real problem. So you're struggling for real. Oh, T. Carey Wright says a 200,000. Ooh, $200,000 house. The mortgage is $1,400. They told you to get that fixer upper. Where'd it go? Oh, there it go. Yeah. You should have got that fixer upper. But no, you wanted the fly crib right out the gate. Like, yeah, look at that. 2-car garage. Man cave. Mad land around the crib. Central air. Pretty soon, I'm even getting me a little pool. You can't afford this crib, man. $15 an hour, $16, 17, 20. You ain't built like that. You ain't. By the way, I'm gonna put $15. All right, now, $120. Okay, let me see. 120. No, wait. No. Clear this. How you clear it? All right. So 15 times 40, $600. $600 times 52. Goof that up. So at $15 an hour, that's $31,200. $31,200. And you not taking that home. That's before taxes. It's not a lot of money at all. You know, you barely making it. Yeah. Wait, can y'all see that shit? No. Oh yeah, there you go. $31,200. Now, if you was getting that money under the table, no taxes taken out, all right, so you're getting $600 a week. You can live off of that. If that's your take home, you're still struggling on a $1,400 mortgage. You can't handle that. I guess the way I look at it is that you should be able to pay all of your bills with one pay. So you get paid twice a month, and sometimes 3 times a month. You know, on those 3 pay months, you know. You should be able to pay your bills with one pay. When you have to go into your second pay in order to pay the bills, you should, that to me, that's the time that you take a look at your spending. Like, yeah, I ain't really doing right. You should be able to take care of it. So one pay should be your bill pay, and the other bill should be all you. Like, nah, fun. That's the way I always looked at it. And I'm probably not looking at it that good. I probably should be looking at it like you should be able to pay all of your bills with 1/4 or 1/8 of one pay. And the rest of it should go towards savings and investments. But maybe to many of us, that's not even realistic. Okay. Now imagine trying to pay $1,400 and you ain't bringing in but. You know, that's $2,400 a month. And you gotta pay 14. You got a stack left. That's it. You ain't ate yet. Paid no lights, water, taxes, gas, no cable for you, internet. You can't afford that shit. Like I said, sometimes when you find out what people actually bring home, you're like, oh, you gotta. I don't know. I'm so cheap at work. I'd be like, yo, do y'all have to actually take out my health insurance from my check? Can't I just pay that on my own? Y'all have no way where I could just pay it separately? Like, I don't like to see nothing coming out. I ain't lying either, y'all. I don't like to see nothing coming out. Nothing. So, but that's me. That's me. That's me. All right. So, yeah, Samaj Network says people that's poor want to be rich and rich people act poor. It kind of depends on what you consider acting rich or acting poor. But I definitely agree and understand what you're trying to say. You know, like, I think rich people know that you're not going to be rich by the way you dress and what jewelry you have on. That is definitely not how rich people view wealth. Um, Samaj Network says we make 15 and better 20. That's in Alabama. If we have good credit, you can pay 250 a month for mortgage. That's why I can live up. That's why I can't live up north, because it's too much. Up north, you should be making 25 an hour. Let me tell you something. Samaj. You need more than 25 an hour. And it's funny because when you only making 15, 25 an hour sound like a lot of money. But here's how much money it is. It do, just eyeballing it, hearing it, you be like $25 an hour. Yeah, you doing all right. 25 times 40 is $1,000. It's $1,000 a week. So you already know that it's 52 weeks in a year, and you made $1,000 on a 40-hour work week. No overtime, none of that. So you make $52,000 a year. See? $52,000 a year. $52,000 a year. That ain't no big money. Now, when you making $15 an hour and you face with that 31,200, you're like, yo, that's almost double what I'm making. Okay. So neither one of y'all make enough money to drive a Benz. That's just a reality of the situation. You barely make enough to drive a Lexus. And actually, you don't. Let's see how much a brand new Lexus costs. Because I want a Lexus. Let me see what I can afford. Let's see. How much is a 2020 Lexus 450?
The 2020 Lexus RX 450h is listed by the manufacturer at a starting price of $46,800.
$46,800? I'm getting me a, yo, fuck that. And yo, this shit hot. Yeah. What I'm saying is, yo, look at that shit. I just got to figure out a way to get it without a note. Horsepower, 308 horsepower. Man, that ain't really a lot of horses, but that should be, Lexus all smooth. Zoom. So luxurious. It's nothing but a Toyota, but zoom. A zoom. That ain't bad, though. 46. So how much for a used one? This ain't bad. If I wasn't such a bitch about getting a car note, I would consider this. But not in this 2020 era. In this COVID situation. But there, 46,800. Yeah, at $52,000 a year that you're not bringing home because that's before taxes. You can't afford that car. But our people, we gonna rationalize that we can get it. Like, I make more money than that. It's not like I gotta pay it all at once. They got 72-month mortgages. I mean, finances, finance rates, finance years, and whatever they call it, MSRP, whatever. Yeah, I can do it. I can get this Lex. I can get a 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 Lex. All right, you go ahead and get the Lex. You fuck around. You can't afford this goddamn Lex, and you living in a house that you can't afford also. So you got a car in a house that you can't afford, but you looking pretty, looking real good, it's looking real sweet right there. You better start saving start selling some Avon, some Amway. You better get part of a pyramid scheme or something. You better do some hair. You better start selling some dinners out of that house. That's what I know. You're not making enough. You're not making enough. You're going to have to grease some scalps. You're going to have to put on some fake eyelashes. You might have to, find a way to make $40 per hit. $40? I got to pay for this Lex. I ain't bending my ass over for no $40. You got 50? But what happens if you crash up the Lex? You crashed up the Lex 450H, baby. By the way, look up that Lexus 450. It's nice. That thing nice. That thing nice. It's nice. It's nice. Huh. Look at this some shit. And that's for the Lexus. How much is that Toyota Avalon? How much is a 2020 Toyota Avalon?
From $35,875.
And I swear to God, the Avalon is the exact fucking car with a different grill. Yo, you need to get the Avi. Same motherfucking engine. Horsepower, 301. Same engine. It's the same car. You know, Toyota and Lexus is the same company. So you're gonna save almost $12,000 by getting the Avalon instead of the Lex. But you probably don't want that Toyota sign in front of your shit. You want the Avalon. You want the Avalon. It's the same car, homie. Oh, it says from 35, 875. So that's with no leather and all of that. Anyway, so you drive off, you know what I mean? You pull off in the Lexus 4.5, or you pull up, you know what I mean, the 2020 Avalon, and you get run into a bad storm and crash up the Abbey. Boom! Oh shit! You ain't got yo. You ruined a major purchase. You don't make enough. You don't make enough to fix that thing. You know what I'm saying? Now you might get hurt in the accident, God forbid, but now you got medical bills and you have your health to take into consideration now. Listen, man, when you ruin a major purchase, some people really feel like when they ruin a major purchase that they have basically come to the end of the world. It's not anywhere near the end of the world, but you know, some people look at things the way they look at them. Valerie, Miss Green in the house. I said, Valerie, what's going on, Val? How you doing? Yeah, somebody says it's a difference between net and gross. You ain't never done lied. Word up. Oh boy, but yeah. All right. So look, let's get into this whole ruin your life thing. Ruin your life. Has anybody ever told you that you ruined their life? You know, sometimes teenagers scream that kind of shit out when they don't get their way. You ruined my life. You embarrassed me in front of all my friends. You wouldn't let me go to a party. You ruined my life. Wouldn't let me go on a trip. You ruined my life. You wouldn't let me stay out late. You ruined my life. Wouldn't let me have sex. You ruined my life. You wouldn't let me smoke weed. You ruined my life. You wouldn't let my kids drink. You ruined my life. You didn't let me do what I want to. You ruined my life. You don't never understand. You ruined my life. Yo, everything you do, you ruined my life. You a terrible parent. You ruined my life. Yo, you won't come through. You ruined my life. You won't let me do what I want to do. You ruined my life. I say you ruined my life. You ruined my life. You ain't never there for me. Yeah, you ruined my life. Yeah, you did and you did. Yeah, you ruined my life. That shit is cold whack and it's all tripe. Ruin their life. People get divorced. Ruin their lives. People break up. Ruin my lives. You ruin my future. You ruin my life. My life is ruined because of you. I had so many plans with you. I had my whole life mapped out with you. You know, we have the people who say, I had it going on until I met you. I had everything until I met you. I was working. I was taking care of myself. I had my own this, that, and the third until I got with you. Now I have nothing. You took it all away from me. You took it. You took everything away from me. You ruined my life. You ruined my life. Has anybody ever told you that? You ruined my life. Have you ever felt like somebody ruined your life and you told them that? We had it all. You know, our family was straight. We was both working. Our careers was straight. We had it. We had everything. We was living the American dream. But you just wanna, and you don't wanna, and you just wanna, and you don't wanna, and you just wanna, and you don't wanna, and you just wanna, and you don't wanna. You know how people reduce whatever action that you took that doesn't include them, as that's all you want to do. All you want to do is, oh, you'll never want to, you know what I'm saying? It's a crazy situation, but it has a lot to do with your feelings, and there's no accounting for somebody's feelings. When people honestly be feeling what they say that they feel. They feel like somebody has ruined their lives. Now I can see if somebody puts you in a position where you're not able to make money, and where you're not able to take care of yourself, to sustain your lifestyle, to be able to move along freely. When you feel like somebody has taken steps in order to pigeonhole you into a way of life that's very, very negative, and you just you're stuck there. There's nothing you can do. I could understand feeling like somebody has ruined your life, but there's so much perception that goes into the whole "you ruined my life" thing. A lot of times it just doesn't pass the smell test. There's a difference between a damaged car and a totaled car. There's a difference between a damaged life and a ruined life. And some people don't know the difference. And maybe it's because when they become so emotional that they can't see the difference, or they're not looking for the difference. It could be something. It's something like that. But yeah, ruin their lives. They tell you that you ruin their lives. A lot of people experience this after a divorce or a breakup, particularly a divorce, because when you marry somebody, it is supposed to be for better or for worse, and it's supposed to be until death do you part. And that's whether you really believe in those vows or not. But if you are the type of person that takes those vows seriously, you're going to look at the divorce proceedings and the things leading up to the divorce. You're going to look at that in a different way. And it's not going to be all that rational, because you really thought that you were going to be with that person for the rest of your life. You thought you were going to be with that person for the rest of your life. And man, now you see that nothing like that is going to be possible. And you made all of these plans with this person. And it's like everything is ruined. Having to start all over, in a situation where you thought that two people were going to be together fighting against everybody else. And you see that, nah, that ain't what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that now you're going to have to basically get through it yourself, which is not necessarily true. It's just that you're going to have to, pick yourself up and get with somebody else. It's actually a new opportunity, but you may not be looking at it as a new opportunity, because you were more than fine with the old opportunities. What's wrong with the old opportunities? I'm not good enough for you. When the feelings of ineptitude, or the feelings of insecurity kick in, I'm not good enough for you. Who you with? Who what do they have that I don't have? And what do they do for you that I didn't do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you are traveling down that sadness road and that depression, you may not even realize it, but people who observe you realize it. And it's like, it's concerning. We want our people to be all right. We want our people to be all right. And when we see that they're not all right, and by the looks of things, they ain't going to be all right, it concerns us. Samaj Network says $85,000 house in Alabama with good credit, 25800. Oh, with credit, you get 258. I don't know what that means. Up north, that's equal to 100. I mean, 185,000. Get it? Only house down south, because like that, is in Atlanta or Miami Beach. Well, one of the lure, one of the biggest lures of moving down south for a lot of people was that you can get house in a land, for cheap. I'm surprised that it's still like that because so many people have moved from up north down south. The crazy thing is, it used to be inexpensive to live up north, just not on the East Coast. It's never been it's never been cheap to live on the northeastern seaboard. Because when we say East Coast, we're not talking about from Florida all the way up to Maine. We're really just talking about from, I would say, North Virginia on up. That's about it. We're not talking about North Carolina, South Carolina. We're not talking about most of Virginia. When we talk about the East Coast, some people think that when you talk about the East Coast, you ain't talking about nothing but New York. Okay, New York, Jersey, Philly. Like Jersey is a city, it's not, and Philly is not a state. But East Coast, Boston. When you feel like mentioning them, I choose not to. But anyway, but it is very expensive to live in Massachusetts or anywhere in New England. And to me, New York is like an extension of New England. It's like South New England, especially when you consider the cost of living of New York. Ain't no part of New York cheap. I don't care where you live. No part of New York State is as cheap as it is in other states. Just an expensive place to live, like California. California, very expensive. I don't care where you live. Southern, all the way up to northern. And Northern California is crazy expensive. All that San Fran, Sacramento area, it's expensive. But nonetheless, what's going on? Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on? I'm glad to see you coming through. I'm always glad to see you. But yeah, nonetheless, when you are used to the financial situation of one area, you move to another area, it's going to be hard. Yeah. Down in Alabama, Samaj, you might be used to that living. You may be used to that lifestyle. You may be used to, the way the crackers are down there. That ain't something that's going to be easy for everybody to get used to. Forget about the rumors that we've heard, or the truth that we've heard, or the historical data that we know about. Like, I know for me personally, I know that white people run shit all over this country, but at least up here, I feel like I have a fair shake to make it on my own. Like down in the deep South, and we consider states like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. We consider any part of that to be the deep South, no matter what, because we don't know of any major cities in those areas. Major cities, like with 1 million people in it. They don't have any cities like that. So all that backwater, like rural area, and like, I don't know. And you can straighten me out on that because you living down south, you may be like, listen, man, the racism down south is better than it is up north, and you may be right, relatively. But yeah, you may be able to live down there for cheap. But coming from up here where it's faster, where it's more busy, you might be like, What good is all of this house if nobody is around here to see it? Get your priorities straight, baby. Get your priorities straight. But yeah, when we were talking about somebody ruining your life or you ruining somebody else's life, that's going to be very relative. It's going to be very relative. It's going to be very it's going to have a lot to do with your perspective on your ability or willingness to go on in the face of adversity and somebody else's perspective of how well they're going to be able to keep going, how well they're going to be able to pick themselves back up, put their pieces back together, and move on, keep going. Just keep swimming, 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 yeah. But at least it is warm down south. Like up here, we'd be thinking like, yo, so y'all don't have to pay for no heat, right? Ain't it hot like all year? No. I don't know about all that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, when you make plans to be with somebody and you're satisfied with the plans that you have made to be with somebody, and then you get thrown a curveball because either that person doesn't want to be with you or something has happened to whereas y'all going to have to make adjustments in the way that y'all deal with each other. It's a tough situation. It really is. Ruin your life through an emotional trauma that you may have had to suffer. And it's not the end of the world. Nothing in the world is the end of the world. Just like there's nothing in the world that's going to have you set for life. We talk about that shit all the time. Like, we're going to get some money and we'll be set for life. No. I don't know nobody that's set for life. I don't care how much money they had. Because you still have to deal with your heart. You still have to deal with your mind. You still have to deal with other people who don't have what you have and don't see things the way that you see them. And you still have to make a way to be all right with other people. You still have to find a way to come together and be together. Shit, some people think that their lives are ruined when the career path that they were on is no longer a career path that they can stay on. You know what I'm talking about? People get fired from a job. And they be like, my life is ruined. I don't know what to do. How am I going to start all over from here? And you know what I mean? I gave so much to this company. I did this. I did that. I was there. And it's sad because you are starting over, but you're not necessarily dealing with a situation where your life is ruined. You're dealing with a situation where you're going to have to find yourself. You're dealing with a situation where you're going to have to get yourself back together. You're going to have a talk with yourself. You're going to have to get to learn and know your new self, because new situations bring a newness to your personality. How you deal with adversity is going to tell everything about you. How you deal with taking a loss. Listen, you want to really get to know where somebody is in life. If you really want to know somebody's personality well, see how well they do with their greatest victory that they have ever experienced, and see how well they do with the greatest loss or the greatest failure that they have ever suffered. From their perspective, that's how you'll know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with when you're dealing with people. See how they deal with when they have won the Super Bowl of their lives. See how they handle that. Are they the type that gets all brand new on people? Do they start having that godly mentality? Like, yeah, it's all about me. I made it happen. I did it. Me. Do they start talking down on people like you should do what I did, or the reason that you can't have this is because blah 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 blah? Do they, do they start being more generous? Do they humble themselves? Do they feel like they're not worthy when they get their greatest victory? And what about when they suffer their greatest loss? How does their greatest loss look to you? Is this something that they should really be bent out of shape about? Or is this something that you look at like, yo, it ain't the end of the world? You should be able to come back from that. Or is it something that you would say, damn, that is bad. That's bad as shit. Like losing a limb or losing one of your faculties, blind in one eye. My mama had to go through that. Having to accept a life that she's going to be blind in one eye for the rest of her life. That it wasn't no easy thing. That wasn't easy for her to accept. It wasn't easy for us to accept. It was hard. Still is. Because you realize you only had one eye left. But nonetheless, I've never heard her say that ruined her life. Got back on the horse and rode off again. Still drives. So your perspective on things will make or break you in all situations. Your perspective. So what is your perspective? What is the perspective of people that you have known when you've seen them reach the mountaintop, the pinnacle of success for them, and how they were when they hit what they considered to be rock bottom? Maybe you were thinking like, you ain't rock bottom. There's so many ways you can dig yourself out of this situation or climb up out of this situation. You'll be all right. And they're like, no, I'm not going to be all right. Everything's fucked up. Everything's terrible. It's the end of the world. All right, you're just being dramatic. Make sure that y'all push the like button, man. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe, baby. Subscribe. And also make sure that you share the show. Share the show to all your social media networks. You know what I mean? We down with the crew. We are down with you. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun show, y'all. All right, so ruin your life. But have y'all ever been through that? Have y'all ever been in a situation where you thought that your life was ruined? Well, you're evidently still here. So we know that your life wasn't actually ruined, but from your perspective, how did you handle it? Like, what did it look like? What did it feel like to you during that time? How did it feel? What did it look like at that time when you were going through it? When you were right there in the thick of things? Have you ever felt like your life was over? Valerie, she says, it's not over until it's over. Then you wouldn't know anything. And Val, I know that you know about loss. We all do. But I know that you know about it in a way that some people haven't experienced. You see a certain character of strength and character. And it's not because, I'm not saying that because you don't show that type of resolve. I'm not saying that because a person may not show that type of resolve in the face of adversity, that they're not strong either. They may be just as strong as anybody else. But sometimes it's the things that we are able to observe will be the things that we paint the picture of a person with. Can't help it. I mean, that's all we have to go on. So are you strong because you made it, or are you lucky? Are you weak because you went in a different direction? I doubt it. Everybody doesn't see fit to deal with every situation equally. We about to get on about it here, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs and then we gonna rock out, rock back, get back with you. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It's gonna be back. Y'all know how we do. All right, so let's do these birthday shout outs. Some people were born on this glorious July 12th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are number one out the box. Hazel Fowler turning 56 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Miss Fowler. And also Frida Morgan turning 57 years old today. And Ojalabi Omonike turning 40 years old today. Bow, bow, bow. Welcome to the 40/40 Club now. Yeah. We're going to hold you down for the next 9-10 years. That's going to be all right. It's a good place to be. Yo, keep the place tight. And Tamara Desmond, happy birthday to you. And Chris Everett turning 35 years old today. And Bunny Armstead, happy birthday to you. And Teresa Rembert, happy birthday to you. And she's raising money for Black Lives Matter. Why? Okay, my bad. And also Kenyatta Heath, happy birthday to you. And Jackson, true vocalist Sony, happy birthday to you. And my man Anthony Green, happy birthday to you, Anthony. And last but certainly not least, Damar Moore. Happy birthday, Damar Moore. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious July 12th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, hey, yo, T. Carey Wright says, I have felt like someone was trying to ruin my life, but I refuse to let him. Exactly. And maybe some people do have the conscious effort to try to ruin your life. I've known some people who were jealous-hearted or just, vendetta, spirited, or just didn't like to see nobody else making it out there or doing anything worthy except for them. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just like that. They don't want to see nobody prosper. Particularly the people who have that type of mentality that if I can't have you, nobody can. If I can't be with you, nobody will. Nobody. Yeah, it be like that sometimes. And, that's something that we have to keep our eye on. But, hey, man, listen, you keep going regardless of who stops. That's the only advice that I could and will give to anybody. You keep going regardless of whoever or whatever stops. That don't have nothing to do with you. What you eat don't make anybody else shit. And when somebody else exercises, you don't get no healthier. So you make sure that you do the right thing for yourself. Assess things, look up things, get to know yourself better. Find out what your options are. Seize your opportunities and take advantage of your resources. Utilize your resources. There's help out there for anybody. You don't have to feel like your life is ruined or some type of quasi catastrophic event has changed everything for you for the worst. No. I want y'all to have a great Sunday and a great rest of the weekend, y'all. Do the damn thing, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all coming through the Urban Therapy with Sun crew. So, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Love y'all to death. I resuscitate y'all and love y'all right back to life. So holla back. And I said, and be safe out there. Remember, COVID-19 still going on. Pandemic still going strong. Can't stop it. So, protect yourselves. Wear your PPE. Wear your personal protective equipment. Your masks, your gloves, whatever it takes, and stay away from them dirty bum ass niggas. All right, on the blog talk side, I holla back. I holla. And make sure, y'all, if you haven't liked the show so far, make sure you like the show. This is your last chance. Well, not really, because you can listen to the show afterwards. Make sure y'all share the show, and please make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Peace, y'all, and one love now. Yeah.